Hi guys, welcome back to the Project Football channel. Today we're going to be doing a review of the England game that went on yesterday. I'm still in recovery mode a little bit. So, some drinks were consumed, of course, and yeah, the heat today is absolutely ridiculous, by the way. So if I look a bit clammy, that's because I am. But yeah, I'm just going to be basically reviewing the England game from yesterday, from what I can remember of it anyway, at least. And yeah, talking through a few tactical things as well. I'm going to get tactical board, or have a bit of a play about with the players and so on. You might have seen that we were supposed to upload a fantasy video. That didn't exactly go to plan. A few technical issues, but that video might still be going up. I don't really know at this point, to be honest. But yeah, we'll review it. And yeah, obviously a massive win for England. This video's not going to be edited, by the way. I'm not going to be too fussy. It's kind of just going to be quite just natural and raw. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. I'll share my screen for you. Just give me 1 second. Rightio. Right, so let's dive straight into it then. So there's sort of the England teams lined up. I tried to do it all professionally and stuff on tactical board, but to be completely honest, I kind of gave up halfway through with the numbers and everything. It's just the heat's mad. I've got a fan in the back, and it's really making no difference, to be honest. But yeah, and I've got some of the subs down here, or the players that were on the bench, or weren't on the bench in Chilwell's case, that I want to talk about at some point as well. But yeah, this is kind of how we lined up at the start. A few kind of surprising picks in there. I think it was safe to say. Trippier at left back. I mean, I don't really mind Trippier at left back. It's not like he's a bad player or anything, but when you've got two natural left backs on the bench, it seemed a bit strange. But Southgate picked him there for a reason. Mings as well. Mings was obviously a big talking point as well. Whether he plays White, whether he plays Cody, but he's gone with Mings. And to be fair to Tyrone, Mings is quite solid. Stones and Walker, yeah, they were pretty solid as well. Walker probably could have done a bit more off the ball, on the ball even, but yeah, he probably didn't have the best game, but it is what it is. It's Kyle Walker. We all know how good he is. Phillips right in a double pivot, but this was quite a fluent system, I think I'd say, on the ball, because it felt like if Rice wanted to go on a little bit and push on, or Phillips did, then one sort of would cover the other, and you'd get something like, sorry, I'll just get sort of slot Martin here. You get something a bit more like a 4-1-4-1 at times if one of these two push up, or maybe even something like that, because Matt Mount likes to press and get up high. But yeah, Phillips Rice started there, and I tell you what, we all wrote off Calvin Phillips. I didn't really want him in the team, to be completely honest. I wanted him in the squad. You would have seen my and Tom's squad selection video, but definitely wasn't expecting him to start. Obviously, Henderson's not fit, and to be honest, I would have liked Bellingham to start. But I think what you've got to look at, what people don't look at, is the other thing about the players that we've got. We've just got, oh, get him in there, get him in there. It doesn't always work like that. There's a game plan in place, and you actually got to consider the opposition. This is what Southgate's done. People don't seem to like him for taking an interest in the opposition for some reason. But yeah, that midfield three kind of there, maybe five if you drop in Kramaric and Perisic. It's a very good midfield three. Aging midfield three, don't get me wrong. Kovacic is a bit younger, but an aging team in general, to be completely honest. But yeah, they're all great players. And what you would have seen is, if I just push these defenders up a little bit, I'm not going to be using midfielders, but imagine this Croatia team's a bit higher. What we were trying to exploit is these areas here, because especially very early on, you saw a lot of balls go over the top of the fullbacks, mainly for Sterling, but yeah, Vashalko likes to push on a lot. He's quite an aggressive right back, but yes, the balls over the top for Sterling. They were working early doors. We also had a chance where Trippier took a throw in into Sterling. Sterling kind of ran across this area here and played it onto Foden, who cut in on his left. That's pretty much why they're on that side. And yeah, I think that was the game plan. Try and bypass the midfield, which for Harry Kane wasn't really that good, because Harry Kane obviously wants to link in and get involved with the play. A lot of people might argue you take Kane out and you play Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who kind of likes to run channels a lot more. But let's not be stupid. Harry Kane's our best player by a mile. And even if he's not really involved in the play as much, if he drops in deep, he'll probably draw one of these two centre backs out or draw the midfielder in with him, or both really, to be honest, which creates more space in behind. But also he's a world-class finisher. We all know that, right? So if we do get chances, then he's there in the box, and he could have had a goal in the second half as well, to be fair. But yeah, that was obviously the game plan. They wanted a bit more sort of cover midfield with Phillips and Rice in there, as I've mentioned. But yeah, they did push on quite well at times. Phillips, actually with the goal, he kind of pushed into this area, didn't he? He had a ball through from Walker, a little touch into Phillips, danced around too, and played it in for Sterling. But that's why Sterling is in the team. I know a lot of people criticise Sterling for playing right, but or he's not. Look, fair enough. He's not had the best season by his standards. We know he usually hits double figures regularly, 20 goals plus for Man City. I think he only got 6 in the Premier League this season or something, 5. But that was the run. That was the run in there, right? Croatia, look, they're not Scotland. They want to try and play to their strengths as well, right? So to an extent, they are going to sort of dismiss England, not dismiss, but they're not. They want to impose their game on us as well, is what I'm trying to say, right? So stuff like this, it was a lapse in concentration by the defender. Vasalko did come across in the end, but he just didn't get across in time. And Sterling finished it past like a Livakovic. But yeah, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, but Croatia didn't really offer much." Which, yeah, fair enough. But I feel like you're just trying to be negative at every kind of opportunity there. I think you've got to give massive credit to Southgate for the game plan and the way that he set the team up. Because look, at the end of the day, look, maybe Croatia didn't play that well, and we only beat them 1-0. And do you think that will worry France? But I just think you're pushing it. Straws. It's the first time we've won our first Euros game in the tournament, and look, a lot of people are also kind of jumping on Southgate at every opportunity. I just don't think you need to do that. I don't think you do. Look, he didn't start Grealish. Completely fair enough. I've actually forgot to put Grealish on this bench here. I'll just do that real quick. I'm not going to be bothered about the number. If I remember the L in his name, Grealish. Yeah, a lot of people criticising Grealish not starting, and people saying, "Oh, if Grealish doesn't start, it should be sacked. If he doesn't start Foden, he should be sacked. If he didn't start all of them, he should be sacked." Like it is. I think a lot of people are blinded by hatred. I think it's safe to say that. But yeah, let's just have like an unbiased conversation here. And Southgate got this right. Don't get me wrong, I was questioning Trippier as well. I don't mind him playing at all. A lot of people, some might have seen on the 92 Bibles Instagram, me giving out a little bit of criticism. To be fair, it wasn't really about the actual pick of Trippier. It was more about the news outlets and accounts like that publishing stuff that just to get people talking shit. Basically, obviously, you would have seen Southgate was quite critical, of a lot of people in the media before he announced his team selection. That's kind of what I was aiming at. Fair enough, it came out as a reliable source in the end, and he did actually start at left back. Hold my hands up. Fair enough, in that occasion I was wrong, but I was just criticizing the news people publishing fake, not necessarily fake stories, but stories that aren't necessarily true. Because Southgate's not going out and telling people that Trippier's starting left back. You know what I mean? So, but look, he had a decent game. Look, yeah, I would have preferred like a Shaw in there or a Chilwell, a more conventional left back. But Trippier had a good game. Reasons for that? Maybe a bit more defensively solid, a bit more experience, set pieces. But Mount was playing, so I don't know. Maybe just to add another option. Maybe it's something to do with Vasalko as well, because Vasalko plays for Atletico and he might know his game a bit better. I don't really know, to be completely honest, but Trippier was hardly even pushing on, really, was he? That's what quite surprised me, because when you see England a lot, usually you see the fullbacks sort of getting up here. But no, they were quite straightforward. Walker would occasionally push into kind of here and play these defense splitting balls, because he's quite a good progressive passer. Trippier kind of as well, but a lot more conservative. He wouldn't put himself in danger by trying forcing it onto his left foot and so on. But yeah, look, at the end of the day, that back four works. Let's just not be overcritical. Yes, we would have preferred Shaw. We would have preferred Chilwell. We might have preferred Reece James. probably preferred Ben White at centre back. Look, we won the game 1-0. Got it right. It's a clean sheet. Croatia didn't trouble us. Fair enough. Croatia weren't that great. We can say that. But he's got it right. We've not conceded. We've kept a clean sheet and we've won the first game. I don't think people a lot of the time give credit for how key that is. So let's just try and stay positive, right? Yeah. So moving on, Mount obviously had his kind of role in here. A lot of people kind of maybe like wanted a more conventional 4-3-3. So let's say Rice there, Phillips, and then Mount like that. So you've kind of got, rather than a double pit, you've got a single, and then two kind of players that might want to push on. So like maybe a Bellingham or a Henderson here. But yeah, again, I'll keep going back to it. The part about the first game and trying to be solid in midfield. And Phillips, to be fair, he had a really good game. So let's not criticise that. So yeah, Mount of this role in here, he would push up a lot of the time with Harry Kane. Harry Kane's not exactly the best presser in the world. He's not bad, but you know, Mount for me is so key to the press in this team, especially against that sort of midfield of Croatia as well. Even though they didn't have loads of joy in there, to be fair, that was probably one of the reasons for it as well. We weren't mad high, but yeah, I was disappointed by Croatia. I will be honest, but maybe that's just a one-off game for them, or maybe that's just what they are. Maybe that the squad's kind of hit its peak now and they're on the way back down. I don't know, but let's just appreciate what we had in that game. Mount played superbly, so did Foden. Foden could have had more joy at times, I feel like, but I'm not one to criticise. Croatia come back into the game kind of slightly, but we 1-0 up at the time. We weren't going to put ourselves into a bad position and just throw everyone forward. I'm already winning. We all know Southgate's a bit more of a pragmatic manager, which, by the way, is fine. That's not a problem whatsoever. He's allowed to be pragmatic. France are a bit pragmatic, Portugal a bit pragmatic, but they win tournaments. Honestly, it does not matter. If I've always said this, if Germany had a more pragmatic style where they weren't so, I don't want to say arrogant, but like the lack of will to change style just for success. Like it all has to be all fancy football on the ball, possession. Like I know England probably played a bit more possession as well, or they can do, especially in the first half before Croatia kind of got back into the game. But if with the pace like someone like a team like Germany have got up front and the not really great defense that they've got. Same as us, really. Our defense isn't brilliant, especially with Maguire out. It's the weakest area of the team. Let's face it. Germany could have success that way because then they've got more numbers. But that's something for another video anyway. But yeah, so yeah, that was kind of it in terms of the tactical point. Croatia could tell we're trying to sort of pace their strengths, but I think this team's just better than them. I genuinely think our team is just better than them. Pound for pound, they've maybe got some better players in midfield, but look, let's face it. There's a lot of things to consider as well, especially the weather, by the way. I don't know if any of you was outside. I had to go inside at one point, but how bad. It was so hot, mate. It was so bad. So you got to take that in consideration. If we just look at the stats real quickly, I've got SofaScore up here. When it wants to load, I'll just scroll down to the stats. Oh, where are they? Have I gone past them? Yeah, there they are. Yeah, let's go up a little bit more. Yeah, so relatively even stats, like 50-50 possession, 8 shots, 2 on target. This is the big one, though. Two big chances created to Croatia, 0. We've hit the woodwork as well. They're very even just 4 less passes than them. The same accurate pass rate. Like it's the same kind of ish dribble success. Like it comes across more even than it actually was. You actually look at the game, Croatia really didn't offer that much, did they? But look, it is what it is. They're still a good team, Croatia. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think this area of the pitch is very good. But maybe the fullbacks and maybe the front 3. Perisic is a good player, but he had nothing in this game. You know what I mean? And I just think this team's better. This team's better now. I think that gives me a lot of confidence for the rest of this tournament. By the way, don't get me wrong. Scotland will be a harder game. Czech Republic, could be a harder game. We don't know. We don't know. But let's just appreciate how good we actually were in this game, and let's get behind it. That's what I think. Let's get behind it. I think you've seen enough really to have confidence. Maybe look, bigger teams. We can play better than that. We can definitely play better than that. By the way, that don't get me wrong. I don't think that's all we've got by any means. But people worry about running into a France or a Portugal in the earlier stages of the knockouts. If we make that, by the way, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think what you got to consider is that all the games are at Wembley. For one, should we go through the stage that way, go through the knockouts that way, and you've got to beat the best to be the best. Yep, quite cliche, but it is true. And to be honest, I like the momentum. We come out of the groups with some good form, some good momentum. They're the best times to play these teams because the later on in the tournament we get, I feel like the more kind of nervous energy the players might have. Don't get on, they'll still be nervous, but I think that's the best time to play a team like that. And I feel like there's a lot more pressure on a kind of France or a Portugal at this point. I know, look, Bucky's favourite's England with France whatsoever, but the players don't know that. You know what I mean? I think the pressure's on France for a team like that or Portugal. I honestly do. I think this team's capable of winning. I honestly think this team is capable of winning. Don't get me wrong, it won't be easy. I know. Look, people are going to say, "Oh, you're just buzzing about the first game and how we played. It's only one game." Don't get me wrong. I know it's a marathon; it's not a sprint. But what I knew this team was capable, simply just on the quality on the pitch. I knew this team was capable of winning or at least doing well in this tournament. But there was a couple of things that gave me sort of doubt. That game's cleared the doubt for me. Don't get me wrong. I know it's, like I said, it's only just a one game, but it has given me more confidence. Maybe other opposition will challenge us more. I don't know. Let's just stay positive for the upcoming games. Let's just stay positive because this team has got it in them. This team's got it in. The manager has got it in them. Watch all the pundits speak about. ITV uploaded a video about and it was Gary Neville kind of talking about Southgate and the asset that he is for us. It's true. I promise you, the pundits all rate it. The only people who seem negative towards Southgate are people just on Twitter, people that have played no higher level than a Sunday League. I've not played a level higher than Sunday League, but I'm trusting in the people that know more about football than me, and I think other people should do that as well. Let's move on to the bench anyway. Let's move on to the bench. So I like to have a bit of a word about all of these. Grealish, look, I think Let's Talk Football made a good point on his channel, Andy. Shout out to him. He made a good point in his sort of post-match review about Grealish's role. And a lot of people wanted Grealish to play, maybe even in a 10. Look, Mount's going to play in the 10, no matter how it happens, right? Grealish, look, you've got to look at the game plan. Has he been better than Sterling this season? Probably yes, right? Does he deserve to be in this role more? Probably, right? But what you've got to look at is the game plan that Southgate went to this game to. He wanted to exploit this space here behind the fullbacks or just behind this high line defence anyway, right? If he's got Foden and Grealish on the wings, do you really think they're going to be making marauding runs in behind? They won't. They both like the ball to feet. They both like the ball to feet. They like running at players. They like playing in intricate passes into tight spaces. Croatia aren't that team. Croatia are a team that will leave space behind them. They're slow. They're not as organised defensively. This is why Sterling played, right? And why Sancho could have played or Rashford could have played. To exploit that space. If that space is there, you exploit it. It's simple as. Scotland, the next game, will be a completely different game. They'll sit in a low block. They've got 5 at the back. They'll be tough to break down. They'll be more organised and they'll try and hit us on the break. I promise you that's what will happen. And they've got good players in their midfield that will turn up for that game, right? They will turn up. I promise you that will be a harder game than Croatia. I promise you. So for that game, a team that plays in a low block, sort of tightly packed with the midfield, I think Grealish might play. I think he might play. I would anyway, simply because you've not got this space to exploit here anymore. You've not got that there. So you're trying to break down a lower block team, a more defensive, more organised team. You need players that can play those intricate balls. They've got intricate movement, like a Grealish, like a Mount, like a Foden. Don't get me wrong, Sterling could still play. That's not the worst thing in the world. You still need runners, people that are mobile along that kind of back five line. Because Kane won't move loads, right? He'll try and get involved in the play a bit. This suits Kane to the ground. This game over the top, it doesn't suit Kane as much, right? He can still score goals, best striker in the world, right? If you give him the chances. But it won't be that easy against Scotland. So that's what I see happening here. I think Grealish might play. In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm not going to put the Scotland kind of team up here, but just to show you really quickly, I promise you, Grealish will be much sort of more suited to this game. Foden probably will as well. Foden had a bit of joy kind of coming in from the right side against Croatia, but again, this isn't his game. They did try and still do that, but look, that's just because of how good Foden is. But yeah, moving on. Shaw, this kind of applies to Shaw and Chilwell, to be honest. Just a little chat about how they weren't playing. I feel like against Scotland, this could be another case where one of them plays simply because Trippier wasn't really getting on in that Croatia game. Whereas if we want to break down Scotland, we want width, right? We want players doing this, overlapping Grealish. So that because these two didn't play, don't count out anything, right? Don't count it out. Southgate's took a squad to the tournament of players that he wants to use. Well, I don't think he would have taken them other than that. Bellingham, when he came on, was quite neat, quite tidy. I think it's still mad how he's playing in a tournament at his age. I think he's broke a couple of records. I think we saw after that as well. So yeah, full credit to him. He's probably going to be involved a lot across this tournament. A lot of people are actually calling for him to start as well, which I wouldn't have minded. But like I said, for this game plan, Phillips Rice worked. White as well. I probably would have put White in there instead of Mings, but Southgate likes to balance on a left-footed centre-back as well. Look, Mings is no Harry Maguire. Mings won't do that. You know what I mean? Maguire does that. Stones does that. Not got that kind of cover when you've got Mings. Or you've not got that kind of player in Mings either. Maybe that's another reason for Trippier as well. So Mings wasn't kind of as isolated. He had a bit of help. But that's why White didn't play. That's why White didn't play. There's always don't always look at the team sheet that Southgate's going to announce, or even just your own team, and think, oh, what's he done that for? He doesn't know what he's doing. I promise you, they know what they're doing. These people have analysts. They do intensive research. You won't believe how much they think about it, even just away from the grounds and the training ground. Just trust in them. I promise you, they know more than everyone else. I promise you. James as well. A lot of people calling for James to start after that game. Andy, Let's Talk Football, Let's Talk FPL said he thinks James is a better progressive pass than Walker. Maybe. I don't think he is, personally. I think Walker's used to kind of that role on the ball at Man City. But I don't know whether Andy just has seen more of James than I have. Maybe not. I think James is more of a defensive player, but he can play midfield, so maybe. I don't really know. But yeah, James wouldn't have been about. I'm not too fussed about who plays really, but against Scotland, a Trent would have been wonderful for that role. Maybe Trippier plays at right back and gets on a little bit more, and maybe one of the others come in at left back. Maybe, but we might have to see. Rashford could have started it as well in the kind of Sterling role, or even on the other side. But I think they want to be cautious about Rashford's fitness a little bit as well. Want to be cautious because obviously he's due that surgery after the tournament as well. But yeah, I feel like they accept that Foden's worked his way into the team. And I also feel like Sterling took his chance. Sterling didn't play bad, by the way. He didn't have the best game, but like I said, it's just for the game plan. It's for the game plan. Let's not lose the first game. Let's sneak a win. And that's exactly what they did. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think. I hope that's give people a lot more positivity about this England team and a lot more trust in Southgate, because I promise you, his IQ, he's miles above anyone else's you see on Twitter. Don't just join into the hate or the bad opinions. I promise you, they know what they're doing. Just a shout out about Pickford as well. He was great. Kind of coming out and claiming the ball and stuff. And that's pretty much it, guys. So yeah, I'll just end the screen share real quick. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, leave a like and a comment on the video. Let me know your thoughts. Let's not have an argument or anything. Let's just have a good unbiased chat. Talk football, back your points up, and yeah, and that's kind of it. Looking forward to the Scotland game now. Maybe we'll be releasing some kind of preview for that game. I'm looking forward to it, especially after that. Let's hope that I don't get as bad as I did, because I will just let you in a little note. I probably left the pub at around 5:30. I went to sleep as soon as I got home, and I woke up at 5:30 this morning the next day. So don't get as bad as me. But yeah. And today, what have we got today? We're filming on the 14th, the day after. We've got Scotland playing today. So let's see how Scotland do and check. But yeah, that's it from me. Like I said, comment on the video, leave a like, leave a sub. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.